Makes no sense that we come back down this zone. Most likely we come down into this green box here. Bulls are stepping in to trying to push. To me, that looks to me like a bottom. Guys, it's finally over. I believe that the worst has happened now to Bitcoin already and that we are ready to go back to the upside. And I will show you proof that not only Bitcoin has finally found its bottom. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. This time a little bit late. Honestly, I did not want to make a video, but then I looked at the charts and was like, no, everything is falling in place. I need to come out right now so that you can take advantage of that, because I was prepared for what happened. I hope you were prepared too, but if not, don't worry, I got you here today. So first of all, yesterday we experienced another big drop in Bitcoin. And why? Because the Nikkei kept dropping to the downside. Remember, I told you this, that I was expecting something like this to happen, that we go a little bit lower, but that by Monday potentially or Tuesday we are turning around and we'll see a bounce here. So I believe that the worst here for the Nikkei trade, cash and carry trade, is now over, and that we are going to see here when Monday the markets are opening a small reversal back to the upside, which will give relief to all markets and also push then Bitcoin into higher levels again. The DXY also was bouncing exactly for that reason, because Nikkei goes down. What do people do? Rush into the dollar, dollar gains strength, dollar goes up. I expect when the Nikkei bounce on Monday or Tuesday that the DXY turns around and finally breaks the support level here. And I can tell you, when we are getting under 100 points on the DXY, Bitcoin will be above $60,000 once again, no matter what. You're going to see it. And especially if we get then continuation in the sub 100 points level. One reason that I was hoping for that would be a catalyst for Bitcoin was the unemployment numbers that came out yesterday, but they came out weaker than expected. We had before unemployment at 4.3% in the USA, and we decreased it by 0.1%, which is not that bad, to be honest, 4.2. So it went down, but it did not really have a huge effect on the market. So actually, couple hours afterwards, market started to crash, but this was again because of the cash and carry trade and Japan. So now when we're looking at the CME gaps, here is something that worries me a little bit, but I have seen this in the past, something like this, or potentially it's playing out here by tomorrow. That is that even though we will have a CME gap, if we hold current prices of over $1,000, this CME gap might remain here for a really long time before that is getting closed. So that might be a CME gap that will get left behind. It doesn't have to, but there is a potential that we're actually doing this, because in my opinion right now it makes no sense that we come back down to revisit the $53,000 mark and then bounce up from here and continue to go higher. I believe rather if we would do that we chop more sideways and come a little bit lower here once again. So, but like I said, it makes no sense, and I will show you in a minute why it makes no sense and why I believe that if we're getting a CME gap here, we are leaving this behind and keep going up. When we're going into the Bitcoin daily chart, so here first of all, guys, what did I tell you? Did I not tell you that if we are losing here this zone, most likely we come down into this green box here and from there bounce back to the upside? I did tell you that. So, and this is exactly what we saw playing out here yesterday. We came into that box here, so I hope you had some limit orders there, because I had for sure. And now we are also bouncing back here to the upside. The next imminent resistance level for continuation to the upside is of course now $57,000 to $58,500. That prior support zone that we have broken to the downside will act now as resistance, and once we are coming back up. But I don't believe that this will give us a lot of resistance, and we should rather pay attention again to the psychological level of $60,000 when prices start moving into that kind of direction. So, but we got now our touch here pretty close to the downward sloping trend line, and I think that was the higher low compared to this low here that we were waiting for to now change trend. And we will get confirmation once we break above $65,000 because then we create also a local higher high, and then we definitely change structure and will keep printing higher lows and higher highs. 12-hourly chart here, you see the bounce already a little bit better, because also here we came to the bottom line here from this parallel downward sloping channel. Here the mid range will be the next biggest imminent resistance on the way up at $61,000, but also the VPVR, don't forget, at $59,000 will act now as a strong resistance on the way to the upside here. Hence why I believe that if we get up here, that we will get rejected by the first attempt to break $61,000 back to $59,500, and from there gain the momentum to break here to the upside. But when I look here at the current candles that we have formed here, the last 3 candles, this looks like a reversal to me. That looks to me like a bottom, especially with the MACD printing less brighter red candles, lighter candles. The stochastic RSI printing a buy signal, and the RSI also pointing to the upside here. So hence why the whole market is recovering here a little bit. But again, we are not out of the woods. Also here on the line chart, did I not put this in? Oh no, so I did not put this in here. So also here, we got really close to the downward sloping trend line here, but also a good sign that we did not break below this low here. So we almost scratched on it, but we didn't. And also we did not get more follow through in terms of volume. So here still this downward sloping resistance line on the declining volume. So, and once you see here a green spike above this level here, and you see candles continuing to be above the downward sloping trend line, then you know, okay, the worst is over. Also in terms of volume, volume is coming back. Bulls are stepping in to trying to push the price now back to the upside. And also here you see here in alignment with the EMA ribbon, the $60,000 mark and $60,500 mark is right now a key area to reclaim on the higher time frames for Bitcoin. Of course, there's some other resistance now on the way to the upside, but this is the key to get completely back into an uptrend and shift the whole market structure. On the weekly chart, like I said, most likely we are getting here a weekly close with a sell signal on a stochastic RSI. I still believe that this will be just a fake out, and next week we are turning this around, and then in 2 weeks we are putting in a buy signal, which in, again, worst possible outcome, then we are breaking above the 22 moving average, but I believe it can happen already in the upcoming week. So I would not wait to open positions on Bitcoin with the mindset, oh, I have 2 weeks time to get going, you know. So I think these current price levels, we will not see them for a while. I believe that we will come back here to that low, this week's candle of $52,400. It's highly unlikely, guys. It's highly unlikely. So if you want to buy Bitcoin below $55,000, this might be one of your last chances to actually do that. And guys, don't forget, if you have no money right now and you want to win $500, then deposit $100 on ZoomX, and you stand a chance to win tomorrow. 2 times you stand a chance to win tomorrow, $500. So make sure that you use the link in the description, deposit $100 when you sign up on ZoomX, and then you will be eligible for a draw and win $500 on ZoomX. And I'm gonna draw 2 winners, so you have double chance by doing that. Check this out. We were also talking about yesterday this green box here. What did I say? I said if we come here into this green box, long as much as you can, and have layered your limit orders the same way I had it. So my orders got filled here. You see that here around $57,300 is the EMA ribbon coming in as resistance, and I believe that will be the first point that where we are, so that will be the first point where we see that we are running in some sort of resistance here on the way back to the upside. I don't see much resistance otherwise, maybe a little bit at 55,500, but then nothing under the EMA ribbon, which makes also a lot of sense with the VPVR being here with a big historical cluster. On the liquidation levels, again guys, we were talking about this. that it would make sense yesterday to come all the way down here to clean everything and to basically push everybody out of the market that had positions opened from like 55, 57, $60,000. They got all liquidated now yesterday, or they had to close the position at a loss. That was the only options that they had because they were for sure not in profit anymore with liquidation levels at these price levels. So now this is all cleaned up. So which direction is the market going? So there is right now only one direction based on where the liquidity is sitting, and this is up. There's no other way for the liquidity to go. And you see the concentration here all the way up to $68,000. This is right now where we are going to push the market to. And also don't forget, the US elections are coming up in, 63 days, 62 days. So there is not a lot of time for propping up the markets to get as many votes on both sides of the aisle, so they need now to prop the markets up, technically running already a little bit late with that. So you're gonna see that most likely next week we will be somewhere here and then go sideways before we get the next leg with the rate cut to the upside. That's what I'm expecting here. So of course, again, the EMA ribbon will give us some resistance on the 12-hourly chart, which is in alignment with the 50 moving average here on the 4-hourly chart. So all the way up here to the 50 moving average on the 4-hourly chart, then most likely come back into the ribbon, find here support, then we get continuation. And at this point, we are also turning around the 50 moving average and getting our golden cross, which will come in most likely next weekend or early the following week. It makes a lot of sense to start building positions right now because I definitely see here a bigger turnaround. And also when we go into the liquidation heat map over the last 24 hours, you will see that currently below us, go actually here a little bit higher. So then you see below us, there is basically nothing anymore. There's dust. That's what I call it. So that here is dust, but the real juicy treasure is up here for a market maker. So where does a market maker wants to go? There where the water is, or where a little bit water with dust is left? So of course it goes where the water is, So and that means that we will come up here, and you see here these levels, the hot areas with the most concentrated liquidity. $57,300, $400, what I just mentioned. Just above that, $57,800, $58,900, $800, then $60,400. So expect next week that we will clean all of this up and Bitcoin will be trading above $60,000 in my opinion. On the MDX algo gradient or the scalp gradient, also here, what did I tell you yesterday? We will come down and create some green candles and then we get a reversal. So we got here our take profit point. We got here another reversal point. We had here already a reversal indication yesterday when I mentioned it to you. They said here reversal indication. There is maybe that small leg still coming to the downside with that wick that I also predicted, then we come really quick back to the upside, and that's exactly what we are experiencing here right now. And guys, again, if you want these indicators that helped me to predict exactly what happened, then go to the link below. You still get 10% discount for using the link, but again, this is also running out soon. And sign up for these life-changing indicators. Go back to yesterday's video. I told you exactly that on this specific chart. I told you here is a reversal indication. We potentially go and print some green candles with a wick to the downside to get everybody out of the market, and then we come straight back up. Go and watch, and you're gonna see that's what I said, and I did this with the help of this indicator suite. So just that you understand how important it is that you have something like this and how much money it can make you. So go and check this out with the link in the description below. When we are looking at altcoins, specifically at the dominance, see dominance is moving to the downside, but this is only because Bitcoin is going a little bit up. And altcoins are recovering at the same time, because I told you yesterday everything was oversold. So people that were accumulating are pushing the prices up right now a little bit. And that's why you see Bitcoin going up and the dominance falling in terms of Bitcoin dominance. When we're looking at the funding rates here, nothing has changed. Still super, super neutral across the board. Even if I take the slider here all the way, you see here, completely cooled down good moment to open low leveraged positions that you can later add on to. That's exactly what I'm also doing. So and here you see there's still so much room left, you know. So if we go back here, how much can I go back? 6 months? Let's see here. How hot we were here in March and in April. This is nothing. So there's no leverage in the market currently, not a lot. So, and because we are not here at over 100% or even more, you know, look here we were like 135% on Pepper, you know, so we are not there yet, you know, so currently we are at 7, you know, this is insane. That's 15, it's even more, it's like almost 20 times less, it's like 16 times, 15 times, 16 times less leverage right now on Pepper than it was in March and in April. So just that you understand that right now is the perfect time to build your positions. And also here on the total free, you see it came into fruition what I said, that we got the bounce here from that green zone. And if that support zone would not hold, then we would fall here into this box, which did of course not happen right now. And we are on track to close above that green box here. And that would then also signal continuation back into the next support and resistance flip zone at $562 billion. And once we are up here and have formed some support and consolidated, then we get finally our move back to the downward sloping trend line. And this time we're going to break through this, guys. We are going to break above $587 billion. And then you're gonna see altcoins going absolutely bananas. And don't forget, guys, on Bybit, you still have 11 days, only 11 days, guys, to claim your $500 free airdrop position. Here, 3 simple steps how you do it. Sign up on Bybit, deposit $100, claim your $500 position, and fourth, if you want fourth, withdraw the $100 again. And keep the $500 position, make a couple $1,000 with them. Right now, guys, right now, not tomorrow, right now, do it right now, because now everything is at discount and bouncing back to the upside. I'm going to show it to you in a second, but get everything that you can get for free right now from exchanges and make the most out of it. That's the only thing that I can recommend you to do right now with exchanges. They are throwing stuff for free around. Take advantage of that. Use the link in the description under this video and in the pinned comment below. So now, for example, Ethereum, I told you, if it comes back into this green box, major opportunity to buy below $2,300. So we actually went to 2,150. But regardless, I told you, buy in the green box. If we get to the bottom of the green box, buy there. So if you would have bought there, you would be nicely up here already. I think 3-4%. Yeah, 3% currently. So now, that's what I mean, you know. So if you go now to Bybit and claim your free $500 position and you open a trade here on 10x leverage, even on 20x leverage, I don't believe that we will come back to $2,100. So you have basically a more or less low risk, high leverage trade here that you can keep until we move to $3,000. So now imagine you have that kind of position on Ethereum, 20x leverage with $500, and we go up to $3,000. So this is 600% gain. So now, if now let me calculate this. 30,000 is the position then worth. 30,000 divided by 20. So you made $1,500 on that trade, guys. So this with free money, you know. So I don't know what you're waiting for, you know, honestly. So you made $1,500 out of $1,500 on a super low risk trade, because it's not impossible, but like I said, highly unlikely that we come back here. And you will have your confirmation once we're breaking the downward sloping trend here. And other coins that I'm looking at to open long positions on is, for example, Casper. Casper, if we get a close here above the 200 moving average, I will be longing this, because we have then also in alignment with that a Morningstar pattern, candlestick pattern here. Plus MACD is losing momentum, stochastic put already buy signal in, RSI is spiking to the upside. So also here, only strong indications for continuation to the upside here. And the first target that I have is 18 cents point 4 more or less. And that will be also a 20% move to the upside. Again, I can technically go and trade this with 10, 15x leverage without breaking a sweat that we will come back here to like 14 cents. Not gonna happen. The same with Solana. On Solana, we are about to break this downward sloping trend line here, this time for good, guys. But we need, actually on the daily chart, let me see, do we need another trend line just to be sure here? So because here is another trend line. So we are breaking now the current 4-hourly downward sloping trend line. This here is the bigger one where we need to pay attention, $152. But what you should keep in mind right now is that Solana breakpoint is coming up in Singapore, more or less around the same time with token 2049. It's, I think, just after. I will be there, but I have no idea if it's just before, just after. It's somewhere around these dates. So, and usually when we get Solana breakpoint, Solana starts to rally, and also during breakpoint, it's starting to rally. So, and the first target for breakpoint is for me here $157, which is also over a 20% move here to the upside from current prices. Look here, this is roughly 22% to the upside from current prices. If we are closing here now in 50 minutes, so most likely when you see this video, we have already done it, above this downward sloping trend line, I will also be adding more to my Solana trade and will take the first time profit here at the 0.786, also in alignment with this downward sloping trend line here at $155. Because if I go to the daily, also here you see everything is in an alignment for a bigger move to the upside. We even have a bullish divergence here, RSI going up, price going down. That could be the first precursor of the divergence playing out currently. Then Telegram potentially could go a little bit lower, just to be honest. I will play it safe here with Telegram and wait for a break of $4.80. $4.80 will be where I will be looking at to long this, because then we break this downward sloping trend line here. On the MDX algo gradient, we are already in the green, but I think we can put in here 2 or 3 more green candles before we go up, and that means we can come a little bit lower before we get continuation to the upside, even though indicators here on the daily are already ready to go back up. But I want to see the RSI going a little bit higher so that we also have here a bullish divergence and know that now momentum is shifting back to the upside. Phantom, strong move here, is already moving in direction of 41 cents. We are now at 39 cents. You look at this here, still oversold on a stochastic RSI. The RSI spiking to the upside, MACD putting in a lighter red candle, and with today's close, we're going to put in another lighter red candle, and by Monday, Tuesday, the MACD will be green. That is for sure, in my opinion. And we will be also then above the 41 cent mark. So right now also, if you want to build a position, right now is a good time to get into Phantom, but don't over leverage yourself. I would not use more than like 8x or something, because Phantom is going to run really, really hard when Bitcoin starts running. So you should not forget this. I can imagine that Phantom is here really quickly at 62 cents again. So and that is a 60% move, 8x leverage, almost 5x your money on that trade. So this is more than enough. This is also what I'm doing here. Then Coty lost actually the golden ratio here. So now I'm waiting also for this downward sloping trend line to break before I get more interested into this. And also here the stochastic. I don't like how the stochastic looks like. If we get a little bit higher, so that we get here a buy signal, while the RSI is here already putting in a bullish divergence and the MACD losing momentum, then yes, then I will enter. Potentially I will lose 5, 6, 7%, but I don't really care. You know, I'd rather play it safe and protect my capital and don't run too much risk here on Coty. So that's what I'm doing currently. Then ICP, also here, downward sloping trend line. I need to break to enter this on the daily chart. Things are looking good. Most likely tomorrow we're going to put in a buy signal on the stochastic RSI. We are losing also momentum here on the MACD. Bullish divergence, small bullish divergence on the daily chart here on the RSI. And here you see we came into this big order block here and into that demand zone. where we only got a wick and straight came back up, which is also a strong indication that a reversal is coming for ICP here. And my first target remains here around 20%, actually a little bit lower, a little bit more now. Here, this is good. So almost 23% now with an entry at $7.28, so which is roughly roughly 3% away from current prices, or a little bit less. Oh, sorry, it's actually just 1.5% away. So that's what I'm waiting for here. Then on near, again, downward sloping trend line is what you're looking out for a move here. Look at how we flatline here. So this might be the next altcoin that I'm looking at to long here on the daily chart, because here also a breakout is coming in the next 48 hours maximum, in my opinion, because also here we're starting to form a bullish divergence. Everywhere the same picture, guys. A MACD losing momentum, and we are getting ready to break here above this trend line, and most likely we're going to see a really nice spike here, at least into the 50 moving average. Also for Rune is also here, look at that RSI, how we are pinching here to the upside. The stochastic RSI is doing the same thing. We have here that small, I would not really call it a falling wedge, because we don't have so much touch points along that downward sloping trend line here that's giving us support, but it still has a wedge shape, you know, so with this current downward sloping trend line that's giving us resistance. So here also, if you want to play it safe, you wait for the daily close above $3.50 to enter this, or you wait for a break above $3.80, but then you miss out on 6% roughly. So your decision. I'm already in. I still hold my position from currently it's around $3.80, so I'm a little bit underwater. But I think next week this position will turn into a nice profit, and most likely we are going to see here move into $4.50, $5 in the next 10 days. That's what I'm looking out for Rune. Also on the lower time frames, yeah, there's still a lot of momentum here going to the upside. So we are potentially, if we get now in the next 4 hours, a move above $3.80, then we put in a fake out for a death cross, and we're going to see that the 50 moving average will bounce off the 200 moving average, and we get continuation. Price will be above the 50 moving average at this point, and like I said, continuation to the upside into higher prices into next week. And guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I see you with more money tomorrow.